don't need to speak it out loud. Just think about it. What are you grateful for? What has happened in your life that you can say, hey, I am really grateful for that person or that event? So just kind of think about that. Just thought I'd throw that out. We are now moving along to our table topics master. We have someone here today that I really like and enjoy listening to. He recently did a tour out of the United States, and we're glad that he's back in one piece. Let's give it up for Tim Small. He's going to
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It's time to have fun now. Everybody, y'all smiling. Did a top-notch speech, got you all pumped up, and now we're getting ready to have a little bit of fun with table topics. We're going to ask a couple questions. We're going to pick someone to come up and answer the question, and you're going to speak for 1 to 2 minutes, right off the top of the cup. It's fun. It's going to see how fast you are on your feet, so to say. And I have a few questions. First of all, I know we do have some guests. Any of our guests opposed to participating in our table topics? Speak now. All right. If I call you now, just don't be nervous. And one thing I will say, table topics, it doesn't matter if you can speak on the subject or not. Say something. Speak on something. It don't matter. Come on up, talk about Mary Had a Little Lamb. But just the fact of getting up and speaking, it's getting that fear. You know, fear is nothing but false evidence appearing real. Accurate. I have fear. So just come up and just do it. Just be like Nike. So our first question. In our current events, we've heard a lot about women in combat units. And women have served in the armed forces since we've been a country. All right, through every conflict, every war. But what do you? Excuse me, I don't have glasses. Do you agree or disagree with women being allowed to serve in combat units, and why? Santiago.
My name is Santiago. Thanks for having me and for calling me out. I completely, absolutely agree that women should have the right, whether they choose to or not, to participate in combat. I know women throughout the course of history have been struggling with getting equal rights or getting up to the point that they feel that they're equal with men. That has to do a lot with participation in the job space as well as in the army serving our country. So if they choose to, I absolutely agree that they should have the right to do so. I know that coming from a person that has a mom, I obviously feel for, I wouldn't want to see a person like my mother in combat, for example, but we got to treat all humans as equal and make sure that they have the right to exercise whatever things they need to do going forward.
Let's give Santiago another round of applause. You're going to show up to Toastmasters as a guest, might as well just go for it. Next. Now, today, I was at the gym trying to get a drink of water, and this young guy was nice and buff. He was a lot bigger than I was, but he was getting a drink of water in front of me, and I noticed that he was sagging his pants. And the only thing that I could see, and it's full, I had to go to another water fountain because I had to look at his nasty underwear. So then, I'm disgusted over that. I hate it. The sagging thing just drives me nuts. But anyway, so I go to Chick-fil-A, and there's a guy at the counter, and he's sagging, and I'm looking dead at his paisley bloomers, and I was like, you know what? What is wrong with our young people? Why are they walking around like this? And I wanted to say something, but I didn't, because, you know, who knows, y'all don't want to read about me in the newspaper. But I thought about, I used to be a cop, I can handle myself. But if you had an opportunity to sit down with a group of young people today, what would be your advice that you would give them to be successful in the future? All right.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. The advice I will give people to become successful in the future is not to have fear. That has been my main problem for me, at least, to have fear. And many times it's just our barrier just in our mind about having fear. Nothing else. I've been able to succeed just because I've been able to willing to take one step more than other people to become successful. Like coming to this country, it was kind of adventurous. One more thing, to get rid of the fear of many other things, speaking a different language I didn't speak. That would be the number one advice I would give people. The number two advice for people would be, most of the barriers are in our minds. We have to always be grateful for the things we have right now and appreciate what we have and not to lose what we already have. With those two things, you can become successful. Appreciate what you have and also not to have fear that doesn't exist only in your minds. With that,
Good deal. All right. One more, maybe two. Gun control has been a big issue in the news. We've heard about it. I mean, I can remember the first mass shooting that really got publicized in the schools was Columbine, and I was a SWAT team member back then, working in the police department, and I remember going through the training, and we were training. What if it happens again? Oh, it'll never happen again. And then I think that same year and a half span, we had like 6 or 7 school shootings. And we've had several other types of mass shootings and different things. And so the debate is on our current gun laws. What do you think the government, or should it be the government, what do you think we should do with gun control right now to stop these mass shootings? Oh, he's a clicker. Yeah. All right, I'll
I can click on it.
Steve.
Steve.
Thank you very much, Mr. Small, for that question. The gun debate is great. It's been going on for so long, and I'm so glad that it finally got to the forefront. I'm sad that it took another massacre for this to happen, but I applaud the president for finally speaking up. For a long time when he was first elected, people said, oh no, you can't have a Democrat in the office, they're going to restrict our guns. But all through his first term, he was silent as massacre after massacre occurred. But finally he had enough, and he said, we must do something. And that took a lot of courage, in my opinion, because I agree with him that something needs to be done. It's past time in this country. And there's many things that can be done. One is to have smarter laws about who can have a gun and how they have to lock up with it. And it's well and good if I have a gun, but I know my kid or my neighbor, if they know I have a gun, they can break into my house, steal it. So what do I want? Stronger gun laws, and also, let's start taxing these guns. Tax them to reduce the number of guns and also increase the liability insurance. If you're to buy a gun, make sure you have liability insurance in case your gun gets stolen, in case your kid steals your gun and goes and kills somebody. Let's get liability insurance on these guns as one way of reducing them. But of course, the law cannot prevent gun violence. It's going to take people all working together and speaking out. And reduce violence on TV also might be an issue. So I do hope we see less gun violence in the future. And I hope some laws can help us get there. Thank you.
Do we have time for one more?
Yes. Certainly did.
Awesome, awesome. Keeping in the spirit of gratitude, I remember when I first got introduced to personal development and wanting to make a significant change in my life and my lifestyle, it was because of a friend shared a book with me, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Well, he shared several books with me, but that was the first one that I actually picked up and I started to read, and it was like crack. And maybe that's a bad. They say you hit one rock and you never stop. Well, I hit that first page and I didn't stop, and so there was always that yearning to want to get more personal development, more seminars. I got to go see Zig, and God rest his soul, he just died a few months ago. But I wanted to go see Zig, Jim Rohn, and all these different people. Who was the one person, or what was the event that was your aha moment, where the light switch popped on and made you say, I want to make a difference in my life? Harry. Mr. Kelly, would you like to?
Rephrase the questions.
What was your aha moment when was it an event or a person that turned the light switch on and said that gave you the want to change your life for better?
There's a click right off the top. Well, there were several people that basically changed my life. I mean, it's very difficult just for me to come up with one person, because there was like different parts of my life that I got inspired. Right off the top, I got inspired from my mother and father. They were very dedicated people. They were different. They were ahead of their time. They were innovative. They were creative. They did things that weren't supposed to be done by people of color at the time. Of course, you know, the basic, give me a break, man. President John Maxwell. I mean, I really love reading his books and the positive aspect of life and how to make a change in life. So there's been many people that have inspired me throughout life.